Hey, hope you guys are doing well. I just wanted to check in from a mom perspective, parent perspective today. I know it's not easy being a parent and navigating a new world, and every generation lands on more information than the generation before, and sometimes loses some of the benefits of the generation before. But here's one thing that I think we haven't been having a discussion around very much. When my daughter does something wrong, I call her on it. I may not always be doing that in the right way, but my goal and what I try to do is gently call her on it so she knows it's a safe space to be wrong and make mistakes, or acknowledge when she's being naughty and to pull back to who she wants to be in the real world. I have, however, accepted that not everyone parents that way. But sometimes I do find myself disappointed that other parents will, instead of calling their kids out, pretend that their kids don't do anything wrong. The invitation that I want to place here is this: our children are not going to do the right thing all the time. They're learning, their brains are developing, and the danger that comes with having our children see that we will not hold them accountable, having our children see that we will lie for them, cover for them in non-life threatening situations, instead of saying, hey, we could do better, makes them think that later on they're not going to have to be accountable for their behavior. So I hold my daughter accountable, but I'm going to defend her in situations where she wasn't wrong. I don't need to attack the other child, but when the other parent isn't standing up, that becomes a danger to us all, because we're not raising little children to feel like they can never be wrong. We're raising people who are going to have to be adults in this world later on. So just a thought, just an invitation, a reminder that children are naughty, and if we give them a space where they're loved as they go through these phases, they will be able to come out the other side, because we could have a conversation that says, hey, that's not what we do. What can we do better next time? We can make it a learning opportunity. We can make it a discussion point. And even if we don't handle it well in the moment as parents, there's space for us to go back and say, all right, I shouldn't have handled it this way, but let's figure out how we can fix it going forward. Yeah? And I do try to hold space for parents to have grace for that. Maybe the situation I encountered was one of those moments where maybe the parent didn't do the best that the parent could have done. But I hope that as we are all learning and growing in this space, we remember that the goal is to help our little people know that when they get to be big people, it's okay to be wrong and make mistakes, but we're also capable of doing the right thing and correcting wherever we can. Right? I hope this holds space for anyone who's been on either side of that discussion sometime recently, or maybe it's something that you cringe when you think about, something you did in the past, something you experienced in the past. Either way, I hope that this leaves room for us to remember that all of us are growing, and that if we want whole, happy, healthy children who will be comfortable fixing what goes wrong in the future, we have to leave room to look them in the eye and say, I know you did this naughty thing, and I love you anyway, and here's how we fix it. Hope this helps someone. Bye.